Welcome to The Photography Guy. I'm your host, The Photography Guy. Let's get started here with another great photo show. Hey, welcome back once again to The Photography Guy. I am Jack, your photography guide, and I'm going to help you through the maze of lenses. Because we have lenses, and our photography profession or hobby is no different than any other hobby or profession you're going to ever get into. And what I mean by that is, to get into any hobby, you're going to have to spend some cash. And if you want to do this professionally, you really have to buy really good lenses. There's just no way around it. We're going to start off in this show, and I'm going to show you some lenses that we're going to use. And the lenses I'm talking about today is going to be a fixed 50mm prime lens that's on my camera right now. We're talking about a Tokina wide angle lens, and this is a 17x35. We're talking about a 24x70 lens, an f2.8, and we'll be talking about a 70x300 lens to round this out, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. So first of all, let's talk about prime lenses. Prime lenses, first of all, is a fixed lens. Now, fixed means it's a fixed focal length. So when we take our pictures and we eye something out, we cannot zoom. We can't turn this ring here and zoom. And we're going to bring the camera in here a little bit tighter so you can see this lens and what it looks like. Just come right in here, and you can see now how small it is and compact. I really like the prime lenses, and the reason I like a prime lens is because it's lightweight, it's easy to carry around, obviously, because it's so light. And the zoom, I got to move my feet instead of turning the zoom. So many times when we have these zoom lenses, we tend to stand really far away, and what happens is we tend to zoom the lens instead of moving our feet. I would rather, if I can, get closer to my subject than be far away. Now, there is a couple variations to that, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. So the fixed focal length, again, this is a 50mm. This is an f1.8. They also sell an f1.4. What is the difference? Well, with Nikon, there's twofold difference. First, the 1.8 is made of more of a plastic construction. It is more inexpensive that way because it costs you about roughly at this video, probably about $150 or so, I guess. The f1.4 is going to set you back probably about $350. Now, many people will ask, and many people have asked me, Jack, is it worth going from a f1.8 to an f1.4? You're only looking at a very small margin there. And the answer is, if you're a professional and you want to buy or spend a little bit more money, then I would say to go ahead and buy the 1.4 because it is made of metal construction. It may hold up better in the field. Of course, I've been shooting with this lens now. I probably bought this lens about, well, maybe 6 years ago, and it's still holding up really well. I still use it a lot, and we take it out in the field all the time and shoot with it. It's a great lens. Another thing with the prime lens is it's said to be sharper. Your pictures will have more of a crisp look to them. Now, to the untrained eye, if you're selling this to a client, it may or may not be the case. But it's something to think about. And for the price of it, to have a low light lens for $140 or $150, you can't beat it. It's really nice to have that lens. So that is your prime lens. The next lens I'm going to talk about here is, we're going to take this lens off, our prime lens, and we are now going to go to one of my pride and joys, especially for landscape photography. And I do use it for some wedding stuff, and I have used it for senior portraits, is my Tokina, and this is a FX lens, and we'll talk about that. But this is a 17x35 lens. It is much heavier, but 17x35. 17 millimeters is a wide angle lens, When I look through this, I can see the whole entire room. When I shoot a picture, I got everything out there. Everything in front of me right now I captured in this lens. I love this lens for shooting stuff such as, you know, when you're going into buildings and you're shooting architecture, it's wonderful. When I shoot a wedding, it's great. I'll lay the camera down on the floor and take pictures of the cathedral ceilings. We'll take pictures of the bride and the groom, maybe by the stained glass windows, and get that nice wide angle view. It's really, really a great lens for that. And as I said, it's also a wonderful landscape lens. So if you're a landscape photographer, you're looking for a wide angle lens. Now let's talk the difference between a FX and a DX. A DX lens, if you have a full frame camera, an FX camera such as the D600 here, the DX lens on this camera will actually lower the total megapixels. That's something to think about. Also, when you're using DX lenses on a DX camera, you're cropping. There's a crop factor. And that crop factor is a 1.5 on a Nikon lens and a 1.8 on a Canon lens. So you times whatever the lens is by 1.5. So essentially what I'm saying is if you're shooting a 50mm lens on a DX camera, you're essentially shooting a 70mm lens. On the Canon, it would be roughly an 80mm lens. So that is why it's nice to have the full frame camera to get the full effect of your lens with a FX lens. So that's a great thing to do. So folks, I want to talk about the other two lenses to you, but the other two lenses we're going to be running in another video, and that video can be found at thephotographyguy.net. All you have to do is sign up for a VIP membership, and you will find a video where we're going to continue on with these other two lenses and keep moving on. I'm going to tell you about those, what I use them for, how they work out, and we'll tell you about the variations in price between these and their brothers, the Canon lens or the Nikon lens, because these are Sigmas. So we'll talk about that there. So thank you very much for watching this YouTube video. I appreciate you stopping by as always, and I hope you do go to the website thephotographyguy.net and sign up for a VIP membership and watch all these videos amongst many more. I've been pumping out tons of videos in there for members only, and it's a great way to watch these videos, and it's a lot cheaper than going to places like Creative Live or some of the other places online. So once again, check it out, thephotographyguy.net. Thanks folks, and I'll see you back here next time on another YouTube video. Take care, and bye for now.